So I'm just going to share. So if you open this and then share your screen with me.
Share my screen with you.
Yeah, I'm just going to send you the example of what I shared with the other teams. This is a voice flow example.
I know, but it should be you share your screen to me, right?
Yeah, no, I've just sent it to you. I've just sent it. So if you go into your email and open it in voice flow, if you click on the link, it will open a voice flow and I'll talk through it.
Oh, I see. Give me a second.
Okay.
Share my screen. Okay, you have sent me, right?
Have you got my email?
Yep, this one.
Yeah, click on it and open it. It'll open a voice flow. That's the
copy project.
Yeah, that's the dummy project that I made for you guys to work off.
Mm-hmm. So click here.
Yeah, just have to wait. So that's how we want the benchmarking to work.
Okay. So what should I do now?
Yeah, so this so if you did the tutorials, right?
Yep, I have read all the video already.
Yeah, did you try and build anything?
No, not yet, because I don't have enough time.
As you were doing the tutorials, you should have tried to build what they were showing you.
Yep, I will do it today or tomorrow.
Okay.
But because I just see all the video, but I haven't tried anything.
Yeah, so this example talks through using a dummy industry called accommodation.
Mm-hmm.
And it shows that there's a welcome to Tania. We're so happy to be able to share your benchmarking data with you. And then it looks at it calls the data. You need to call the data using the API block.
You mean this one? No, seems no.
No, the API block.
This one?
No, that's the speak block. If you had done the tutorials.
This one, ANC API benchmark data.
Yeah, so your benchmark data should sit on a Google Sheet or something.
Yep.
And then you can bring that data in, the benchmarking data and the organizational data. And then in the next blocks, it's just comparing the data. We're using dummy data.
You mean this one, BM data?
Yeah. So that's as if the data's come in from the API. And if you go along.
And this one.
So that's quick ratio, and that's quick ratio data that we've just brought in, and return on equity data for both the organization and the benchmarking data. Right. And
you mean this one? Compare QR data?
Yeah, and then you compare the organizational data to the benchmarking data, and then you tell the results.
Calculate the
this is
difference compared to data. Okay.
So this is just a mock-up of the example.
Mm-hmm.
And then you send an email to the user giving them a summary of the data.
You mean the last block, right?
Yeah, the last block. So essentially you take that data and then you send it to the user. And that's it. But obviously you build that data for all of the benchmark ratio, all of the different data sets.
But because this is just your example, right? So
Yeah.
we have many data, say more than 40,000 row. So
Yeah, but they only have specific variables that you're comparing. Remember in the spreadsheet I gave you?
Yep.
In that spreadsheet are the variables that you collect for New Zealand.
The spreadsheet
Right.
should be here, yeah?
Yeah. So remember those data sets?
Yep.
There's
like
only a
this.
specific number of variables that you're collecting.
Mm-hmm.
That's not it, yeah. See on the right-hand side?
This one?
Not that, go to the first one. The first sheet.
This one?
Yeah.
Hmm.
See down the left-hand side? Those are the variables you're bringing in. So you're accessing the 400,000 rows, but you're only doing comparisons of this data in column A.
So
Yeah?
that means we need to fill this first and use this voice flow API to access the data and make the comparison and
Yeah.
give out the result.
Yep.
Okay.
That's exactly it.
And this should be one for New Zealand and one for Australia, right?
Yes. Yes.
I see. Okay.
Okay, so if you just have a play around with the voice flow data, then you will get an understanding of what it's trying to do.
I believe I understand. And I think we are not doing the prototype. Something
Okay.
like a product instead. Or maybe just a module of Tania.
Yeah, you're only doing one piece of Tania, yeah. One module, the benchmarking module.
Mm-hmm. And the
So that's not the whole
benchmarking scope
Tania.
are here.
Yeah, you're building the benchmarking conversation.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let me think about how to do it first. And quite challenge, but interesting.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you have any other questions, you can just come back to me. But that draft dummy conversation shows you to bring in the benchmarking variables, which are those. The organizational variables we already have, we bring in the equivalent ones, and then you just compare them. So if you go through that voice flow example, hopefully it'll come to light.
But how about the actual figure?
The what?
The actual figure, because when we do the comparison, we have the benchmark data here after I fill this table, and I need the actual figure to compare with the benchmark data. and give her the result. So where can I find the actual figure?
Oh, the actual figure we have, I'll provide you with the variables. In the prototype that you build, you can just build dummy data. Just make some data up.
You mean the benchmark part?
Yeah, no.
For
The
example,
benchmark data,
like this 1, 2, 3, 4, like this.
yeah. So all of that, you can just have dummy data,
Mhm,
organizational data. The
mhm,
Tania skills brings in the actuals. So you won't have access to that. We'll merge it with your prototype.
hmm.
So you can just build dummy data for an organization comparison for now while you're building the first prototype. And then once you've built the first prototype, we'll bring in the comparison benchmark data.
So what about
Why
for the
don't you just
final
have a,
prototype?
yeah, why don't you just have a go at bringing in your benchmark data? So don't even worry about the organizational data. Bring in your benchmark data to that voice flow prototype that's already been built.
Hmm.
Okay?
Do you mean
But you have to
for
bring
the
it
first?
in.
Do you mean for
You
the
have to
first
bring it in.
prototype? Do you mean for the first
Yeah.
prototype, I can simply use the fake data because it is for the demonstration on how the
Yeah.
skills work?
Yeah.
Okay, but for the
Have you
final
spoken to
prototype,
the
we need
other?
to find out the real figure from the data set we get before.
Yeah. Have you spoken to the other groups?
Haven't because Elvin tell us they are our competitor. We should not
Oh,
talk to each other.
okay. So I think that you should try and bring in your benchmarking data into that demo, that prototype that I've already built for you. So try and do that first and compare it to pretend organizational data so you understand what you're trying to do. That prototype I sent you, you should try and understand what that's doing and how that works. And everything else will be easy.
Mhm. But I want to know um I want to know your expectation for the first prototype. As I said before,
Oh,
for the
so the
benchmarking
first
data, we can
prototype,
use the fake data, and the actual figure you will give it to us. Then
yeah,
you do the comparison by using the voice flow,
yeah,
right?
yeah. But you could just use dummy data for the organizational data, the comparison data. Just
Mm-hmm.
use dummy data for the first prototype.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Just use dummy
Organizational data
data.
means actual figure, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Organizational data means actual figure.
Mm.
So in voice flow, where it says organizational data, that's actual figures that will come in live. But for your prototype, for the first prototype, just you need to build your API in voice flow to bring in the industry data. So a user will confirm a specific industry for them, for that organization.
Mm. So
And you need to be
for the
able,
benchmark data, can we use the dummy data as well for the first
no, the
prototype?
benchmark data, you have to use the live benchmark data
Okay, that
that
means
you've
I
got
need to
access to.
extract from here, right?
You need to, yes,
Okay.
yes, this is your real benchmark data. The next two and the Australian ones.
Mm-hmm.
Those are your, I mean, the New Zealand ones are your real benchmark data. You need to extract that data into voice flow. So if you watch the tutorials, you would have seen how to build an API to pull data from a Google Sheet.
Okay.
Did you
That
see
means the
that?
first prototype is to prove we can make it work, but the data is not important. But for the final prototype, all the things should be real, right?
Yeah, but you should be able to use the real benchmarking data. You've got it.
Again, extract from here.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
but you won't have the organizer. You can just use dummy organizational data. But you need to build the prototype, the basic one, even if
Okay.
it's got 2 examples of the ratios of the variables.
What do you mean on basics one? Does it cover
Like
all
just
the question here or
what I
just pick some of us?
Yeah, you could just pick a couple of those variables down the left-hand side. See a
Mhm.
couple of those? Just bring 2 of them in, or 2 or 3 into the skill from your API. Bring the benchmarking data into the skill.
Okay, I got it. I understand what you need now.
So you can do that for the first prototype. But I think if you start working on the skill, Lawrence, you'll get an understanding of what it's doing. So I think you should go to VoiceFlow and
Mhm.
look at what I've built for you, because that's the basis for bringing everything in.
Yep.
You have to
Just to
build the
make
API.
something like this, right? But
Yeah,
call our our spreadsheet.
yeah. But it's going to be bigger because we're going to have more, the industry won't always be. So the industry I put in there, Lawrence, you'll see, it's called accommodation and
Here.
campsite, something. See there?
Yep.
That's
This
only
one.
one industry. Yeah. But you've got 40,000 lines of industry. So you need to build it so that we can choose any industry. And then the API goes and gets the data for that industry.
But this is for the final prototype or first prototype.
The full set, yes, is for the final prototype, yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, understand. Okay, thank you very much. Let
That's right.
me
Well,
try to
have a look
familiarize
at
it
it.
first.
Yeah, yeah. Have a look at it, and then come back to me
Okay, I
if you have any
will
questions.
give you an email if I have any question.
Yeah, yeah, and we can always catch up.
Yep, me too.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.